is Mark Anthony Dunham Jr. I am Washington College of Law class of 2018. I received a summer position for the summer of 2017 at Sherman and Sterling in its New York and Washington, D.C. offices, and I'm currently an associate in its New York office, practicing in the financial institutions and financial regulatory group. I wish I had known that being an evening student isn't as much of a plus as I thought it might have been. I did a lot of interviews and people were very impressed with being an evening student, but it wasn't as impressive as doing an internship during the day or doing certain things during the day that I couldn't do because of a full-time job. But I think probably more so than that, I wish I would have known that. I wish I would have known that you really do have to talk up yourself more rather than being matter of fact about what's on your resume. I think I didn't talk up myself in certain arenas more so because I just am not, most people aren't built to kind of talk about themselves obsessively. But I think in this context, there is a bit of self-promotion that's required to say, I'm a great fit for your firm because I've done these things, and because I've done these things, I will be able to do, this type of work or that type of work. I think, I allowed for my resume to speak for itself and my experiences, which is fine. But if people want to pull on, if people are trying to answer the question why you, as opposed to why her, if you just say, well, my resume is just here it is, they'll say, okay, well, great, thanks, but I don't want to have to come up with that answer by myself. I want you to tell me why you. If you can't tell me why you, then I should just go with the person that has told me why them, because that's easier for me to digest, especially for partners who are looking for, I need to understand quickly why, to differentiate between this person and that person. So I think more self-promotion, tasteful self-promotion, I should say, and really playing up your strengths, but not exaggerating. The first thing I would say is do it. Do not shy away from OCI because you're not in the top 25% of your class. I think that's kind of the myth that a lot of people fall into. You don't, if you don't qualify in terms of the top 25%, okay, well then I guess I'm relegated to, who knows what. The first thing you should do is do it. You should apply. You should make them tell you no. I think that is the key. And I'm sure other people would say that as well. Make them tell you no, because unless you are, but at the same time, be realistic. If you're saying you're not in the top 25 because you're in the top 26, okay. If you are not in the top 25 because you're in the bottom 15, all right. Well, let's have some real conversation about where you are versus where you need to be. I think if you are really within striking distance, if you're in that top 50, top 40, top 30%, you should definitely make a run at it because you never know what a firm is looking for, what type of experience a firm is looking for. I was not in the top 25%. I don't think. I think I just missed the top 33% when I was applying. So here I am. I think that is where when we disqualify ourselves, that is where we allow other people to beat us because we beat ourselves first. The first thing you should do is always do it. Always do it. Now, like I said, be real with yourself. If you know that you have a below 3.0 GPA. Um, Work on the GPA. Work on that. Um, we can't get away from the numbers game. It's the first way in which they differentiate who to bring back and who not to, who to even talk to and who not to. You can't get away from the fact that GPA matters. So if you're below the 50% mark, if you're below the that level, okay, really focus in on upping your GPA to at least being in the top 50%, being above a 3.0, 3.1. But beyond that, always apply, always get in the room. You never know what might happen, who might be looking for your skill set.